You know, that feeling when something small goes missing. And at first you think it's just bad luck? Maybe the delivery driver left the package at the wrong house? Maybe someone accidentally picked it up. Maybe the system just made a mistake. That's exactly what I thought when my first package disappeared. But when the second package vanished, and then the third, I realized something that made my stomach drop. Someone in my neighborhood was stealing my packages, and the worst part? I had a very strong feeling I knew exactly who it was. But before I could accuse anyone, I needed proof. So I decided to do something very simple. I set a trap. A trap that would expose a thief who had been getting away with stealing from everyone for months. And when that trap finally went off, let's just say my neighbor Michael made a mistake he would never forget. Set up about a year ago, I moved into a quiet suburban neighborhood. The kind of place that looks perfect from the outside. Tree-lined streets, kids riding bikes in the evening, friendly neighbors waving while walking their dogs. It felt safe, comfortable, predictable. The type of neighborhood where people leave their garage doors open and trust that nothing bad will happen. My house sat on the corner of a small street. Right next to me lived a guy named Michael. Michael was one of those neighbors who always seemed to be around, not in a friendly way. More like always watching. If I pulled into my driveway, Michael somehow appeared outside watering his lawn. If a delivery truck stopped on the street, Michael would suddenly step outside like he was curious about something. At first I didn't think much about it. Some people are just nosy. But a few weeks after moving in, something strange started happening. One afternoon I ordered a pair of wireless headphones online, nothing expensive, just something I needed for work. The tracking information said the package had been delivered, but when I got home and checked the porch, there was nothing there. I checked behind the door, nothing. I checked the bush near the porch, still nothing. I figured the driver left it at the wrong house. So I contacted customer support and they sent a replacement. A few days later, the replacement arrived, and again, it disappeared. Now I started to feel uneasy. 2 packages don't just vanish. Something was definitely going on. But I still didn't want to jump to conclusions. Then the third package disappeared, and that's when I knew something wasn't right. The suspicion the third package was something bigger, a keyboard I needed for work. According to the delivery photo, the box had been placed directly on my porch. The image clearly showed my front door, my welcome mat, the porch light, everything. But when I got home that evening, the package was gone. That's when I started looking closer at the delivery photo, and something in the background caught my attention. Across the street, barely visible in the reflection of a car window, was someone standing on the sidewalk, watching my house, and the shape of that person looked extremely familiar. It looked like Michael. Now I wasn't 100% sure, but the suspicion was enough to make me start paying attention. Over the next few days I noticed something strange. Every time a delivery truck stopped on our street, Michael appeared outside. Sometimes he pretended to check his mailbox. Sometimes he walked his dog. Sometimes he just stood there looking around. It started to feel less like coincidence and more like surveillance. That's when I decided to take the first step. I installed a doorbell camera. The first piece of proof: 2 days after installing the camera, I ordered another small package. Nothing important. Just a cheap item I didn't care about losing. And then I waited. The delivery notification came around noon. The package was sitting on my porch, exactly where it should be. I watched the live camera feed from my phone while sitting at work. For about 10 minutes, nothing happened. Then suddenly, movement. The camera detected someone approaching the porch. And there he was, Michael. He walked up to my door, looked around quickly, and picked up my package. No hesitation, no guilt, no fear. He just grabbed it and walked straight back to his house. Like it was completely normal. Like he'd done it 100 times before, because he probably had. Watching that video made my blood boil, but I didn't confront him. Not yet, because if I accused him, he'd deny everything. And I wanted something better than an argument. I wanted undeniable proof, and maybe a little karma, so I started planning. The plan: if Michael was going to keep stealing packages, then I was going to give him one. But not the kind he was expecting. I started researching ways people catch package thieves. That's when I discovered something called a glitter bomb. Basically, it's a device hidden inside a box. When the thief opens the package, it explodes with glitter. And sometimes even records video. The idea was perfect. But I decided to make the trap even better. I bought a small hidden camera, a loud alarm device, and a container full of bright pink glitter. Then I carefully placed everything inside a medium-sized shipping box. The camera was positioned to record the exact moment the box opened. The alarm would activate instantly, and the glitter would go everywhere. Then I sealed the box and labeled it like a normal delivery. To make it look even more convincing, I placed some random packing material inside so it would feel real when lifted. Finally, I placed the package on my porch and waited. The trap, it didn't take long. About 15 minutes after placing the box outside, my phone buzzed, motion detected. I opened the camera feed, and just like before, Michael appeared. He looked around the street carefully, left, right, then he walked up my porch steps. He grabbed the box and quickly carried it back toward his house. I watched the entire thing happen in real time, but the best part was still coming. Because the real show wouldn't start until he opened the box. The moment everything went wrong for Michael, about 10 minutes later, my hidden camera activated. Michael was sitting at his kitchen table. The box was in front of him. He looked excited, like a kid opening a present. He grabbed a knife and cut through the tape. Then he opened the flaps, and instantly, everything exploded. Glitter shot into the air like a pink storm. The alarm started screaming. The camera recorded everything. Michael jumped back in pure shock. Glitter covered his face, his hair, his shirt, his kitchen table, the floor, the walls, everywhere. He started yelling and trying to wipe it off. But glitter doesn't just wipe away. It spreads. The more he tried to clean it, the worse it got. And the entire thing was captured perfectly on camera. The twist, but I didn't stop there. Because while Michael was dealing with the glitter disaster, I was already preparing the next step. I compiled the footage. The doorbell camera showing him stealing the package, and the hidden camera showing him opening it. Then I uploaded the video to our neighborhood community page. Within minutes, people started reacting, and something interesting happened. Other neighbors began commenting. One person wrote, "Wait, I've had packages missing too." Another said, "Same here. I thought it was the delivery drivers." Then another and another. Soon there were dozens of comments. People started realizing the same person had been stealing from everyone. Michael, the fallout later that evening, I heard loud voices outside. Several neighbors were gathered near Michael's house. Someone had called the police. When the officers arrived, they started asking questions. At first, Michael denied everything, but then someone showed them the video, the doorbell footage, the glitter bomb footage. There was no denying it. So the officers asked if they could take a look inside his house. And that's when things got even worse for Michael, because inside his house, they found dozens of stolen packages, boxes from different companies, different addresses, different neighbors. Some of them hadn't even been opened yet. Michael hadn't just stolen my package. He had been stealing from the entire neighborhood for months. Just as the police ended up arresting Michael for mail theft. Apparently, stealing packages is a serious federal offense. Several neighbors were able to recover their stolen items, and the rest became evidence in the investigation. The story spread through the entire neighborhood. People started installing cameras. Delivery drivers began leaving packages in safer locations. And suddenly the quiet neighborhood felt a lot safer again. Ending a few weeks later, Michael's house was completely empty. A for sale sign appeared in the front yard. The guy who thought he could steal from everyone and never get caught was gone, and every time a delivery truck stops at my house now, my packages stay exactly where they're supposed to be, because sometimes the best way to stop a thief is to give them exactly what they're looking for. Just not the way they expected,